Beeroes and Brews with Nerdy Dudes. We're your friendly neighborhood Beeroes,
Kev.
Ty, and we're going to do some nerdy reviews with Heroes and Brews, and we're going to do Cloak and Dagger on Freeform right now. I think it's 4 episodes in at this point in time. Kev just started it.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's 4 episodes
Okay.
in.
I did. I just started it.
Which I was actually pumped when you told me you were watching it because...
I didn't know you were watching it.
Yeah, I wasn't sure you were going to watch it because I thought you kind of gave up on the TV hero series so far.
Yeah, I did, and then there was something... I don't know a lot about Cloak and Dagger, and there was something about the previews that intrigued me.
Yeah, it was interesting.
And I was like, well, is it like your classic Freeform thing? It's just like these high school kids, and they're just going to take these characters and put them in high school, and then it's going to be super drama-y. And
it's funny, who would have thought Freeform or CW would be having superhero television shows?
Yeah. Well, I guess...
I feel like Sci-Fi or maybe even the big networks, but I mean, I guess the big networks want like their host of drama too, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, Freeform, with this kind of show, after watching it, I wasn't really surprised. I was like, okay, it fits, but... I was hooked, man. Episode 1.
Yeah,
I was hooked.
It starts off on fire.
It really does.
Spoiler alert, anyway. So if you haven't watched it, you should probably stop. If you want to know, keep watching. But when they're kids and you see like their upbringing right off the bat, I thought that was really cool because you got Tandy, who's like at ballet, waiting for her dad to pick her up in the rain. It's like hours later. She was like done when it was sunny out. It's dark and raining when her dad like picks her up.
Yeah.
And he's like some successful businessman. And then you got Tyrone, who overheard his brother getting his like deck stolen from some rich guy that like
was gonna pay for his car radio or something like that. Yeah.
And he went to go steal it for him and gave it back to him. And they have these really tragic backstories.
Yeah.
And they're kind of graphic. Like Tandy's, like...
both of those scenes.
Yeah.
The scene of when she's on the highway and her dad's on the phone and he's so distracted by the phone conversation that he keeps like moving over in the other lane and they keep showing Tandy's reaction like, Dad, are you even paying attention? That was getting me anxious.
Seriously.
And then when she landed in the water and then he flashed to Tyrone and his brother is shot by that cop.
Yeah.
And he jumps in after his brother. And when that plant blew up, right away I was like, that plant blowing up is going to affect those two somehow.
100%. Because they were still alive underwater, you know?
Yeah.
And it blew up underwater. And it's funny because the dad was saying, don't do that, you'll cause an explosion on the phone.
Yeah.
So his plant was probably the one that exploded and caused them to eventually get these powers.
Yes.
But what drew to me, too, was that it was when her dad was driving, it was on a bridge in the water. And so when they did veer off and go in the water, it was even worse when the huge truck you hear honking, it nails the top of the car.
Yeah.
I'm like, they just are piling this on this poor little girl.
Oh my God, yeah, that was when it was the roof was kind of caving in on her and everything, and that was a crazy, crazy scene, and that's when I was like, this show
Hooked.
Oh my God,
Hooked.
right away.
Yeah.
And then to see, it flashes forward. It just says years later. It doesn't really give you a specific time frame, but they're in high school. And I thought it was really interesting to see, because I'm assuming Tandy kind of grew up in this very...
broken household. Her mom's obviously filled with drugs and...
But they were wealthy.
In between they were.
And now it's... The dad's out of the picture, and she's just kind of, lives a life of crime.
Yeah, well, because I don't know, because I'm a few episodes in, did they show you what happened with the mom?
Well, the mom's in like a trailer park right now.
Yeah, but I think episode 2 they show a flashback of when she was younger and when people came to the house after the dad died. Did they show that?
No, I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah,
no.
They didn't. You'll see. You'll understand what's going on.
Okay.
But for anything, I think she ended up.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Yeah, they were going through all of her dad's shit.
Yeah.
And confiscating that.
Yeah. And I think that. I think from what I understood from that was I think they were taking like most of their stuff that was that could be traced back to that company because of the explosion.
Yeah.
I think they were trying to get rid of it, which included like the money and stuff going to them. So I think whatever they paid off to the mom, I think she spent on all drugs and stuff, which is what I'm getting from my opinion, from watching it.
Yeah.
Which you can believe because she's a big druggie and she's not really there for her daughter. At the same time, the daughter just leaves and doesn't try and help out.
Yeah.
Which I guess if you're in that situation, it's kind of toxic. You don't want to be around that. Understandable. Yeah. But you can also understand that she went from being rich to like poor, so she's stealing from
the rich.
Yes. On the side to make a living,
That okay, I was even like putting that together too. Yeah. Shoot. And then Tyrone. Now I don't know if he came from. They look like they're a wealthy family.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they were prior to the son being murdered.
I think they were.
They were?
I think so.
Because he goes to like a preparatory school and everything like that. And he just seems like, he's your typical kid who receives a lot of pressure from his parents to be the the best that he can be.
Yeah, and I think they're also worried that they don't want their only other son to fall into trouble like their other son that died,
Yes.
And I think that's gonna be a big theme in the series because they're gonna be very worried about Tyrone. Meanwhile, he's disappearing in random places and trying to run back home because he doesn't know how to control his powers yet. That he's just finding out he has.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And the scene where those two meet and when they touch hands and like kind of blow back from one another.
Yeah.
And they're both freaking out. And then she was like, "You're that boy from the beach."
Yeah.
And what is he? Oh, I love when all of a sudden she's gone and he's like, "Crazy white girl" or something. I think he says. I can't.
Because she steals his wallet.
Yes. Yeah. And then,
cool.
when they're in the graveyard and he's like calling out like crazy white girl. I'm very excited for when these two eventually join up. I'm assuming they will at some point.
Where I am, they slowly are.
Yeah.
I think the episode I'm about to watch, I think they're trying to figure out their powers together. I'm not sure. I know that they came together, and that's how it ended. So I don't know what's going to go on after that.
Without giving too much away, how's their chemistry in the show?
It's good. They're when you're the first 3 episodes, they're standoffish against each other. They don't want to like she doesn't want to see him, but he's just like confused and wants to understand like what's going on with his powers, and he knows something's going on with Tandy. Yeah. Because of that whole Flash thing that was going on. Yeah. So it's cool. They do have good chemistry, and I'm excited to see them work together finally instead of like Tandy trying to avoid him the whole time. So I think it's gonna be good.
All right, because in the first episode, it's tough for me to see whether they're going to be believable together.
I think they will be.
I'm hoping when I watch it that I'm like, wow, I really love these two together. Yeah. Like they definitely did. Obviously these two actors, I've never seen anything before.
No, I haven't either.
But I just I'm hoping that they mesh well.
I think they will.
Because I'm not too familiar with the comics, but. I know obviously Cloak and Dagger in the comics. I think they're a lot older in the comics, like the way they're portrayed in the stories. I'm not sure. Comics.
I don't know much. I
believe they're a lot older, and they've always been together. It's been it's a strong relationship. I think they're pretty much dating or married or something like that. So I'm hoping that when these two finally get together, that it's believable.
I just like the whole. Finding out you have powers and trying to realize, how do I make this work? How do I control this? It's like you're a teenager and you're just figuring out life in general, and now you have these random powers coming to play, and you're like,
what do I do with these?
I actually just stabbed this kid with a ray of light. Like, how did I do that?
I have no way of explaining this.
Yeah, like, does my DNA track when I kill him? Is that going to be seen? Or like...
It's cool. It's almost like whatever ability she has, and again, I'm not really familiar with it, is that it comes to her defense. Yeah. It's almost like whatever is inside of her is aware of what's going on.
And the same with Cloak, though, because in that one scene, he doesn't get shot, and he just grabbed something and threw it over him, and he was at his house.
Yes. So I kind of like that. And I don't know if that's what it is, but the fact that whatever is inside of them is aware, and it's almost protecting them. Yeah. It just kind of has a mind of its own sort of thing. Yeah. I
just can't wait to see if they can control it and how they're going to go about dealing with it. And if Tandy continues to use that, for bad and stealing, or if she's actually going to start like refiguring out her life and putting that towards like justice, you know?
Yeah.
Because Cloak, he's trying to get justice for his brother,
yes.
rightfully so, you know?
Absolutely.
And I feel like if they use their powers towards that, that's for the good. But you're coming with Tandy, who's like all for herself right now, especially in her relationship with that random ass guy. Like she's still all in it for herself.
Yeah.
When he came back, it's like, oh, I only got this much money. She's like, why? That's priceless. She's like mad because he didn't get enough money, you know?
Exactly.
I feel like she's more about herself. So I guarantee she has like an awesome character development that's going to come up.
That brings up such a good point, and that's why I think this story I'm very interested in, because of the fact that Tandy is more selfish right now.
Yeah.
You know, she kind of feels like the world owes her something.
Yes.
Where it almost seems like Tyrone is like, I have to give myself to the world. It's me giving myself to my brother who was wrongfully murdered, you know? And he's kind of like, it's all my fault that he was murdered. This wouldn't have happened if I didn't, steal this for him.
Yeah.
So I think to have those two stories, I'm kind of glad it's not like, I'm trying to take, avenge this, and I'm trying to avenge that, and let's both avenge together. I think they're going to butt heads because I'm sure Tandy's going to convince him, like, you have this ability, let's get back at everybody. Where he's like, no, let's use this for good.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm super pumped for this show.
What are your guys' thoughts? If you watch Cloak and Dagger, give us your thoughts. Do you like the whole storyline with Tandy and Tyrone? Is it getting real? Right?
Tandy and Tyrone.
Is it getting real interesting? Give us your thoughts. As always, thank you for watching, and
cheers.
Hey guys, don't forget to use our promo code on Tavor, Beeroes. It's BEEROES.
This app Tavor will open up your world to all these different craft beers that you never even knew existed. If you download the app, you may find your next favorite beer that isn't even in your area. It could be from Iowa. It could be from Texas.
Hawaii.
Who knows? Hawaii. Check it out. Check it out, guys. You won't be disappointed.